Hello, this is Scotty McCoy. I'm the author of the Ultimate Friday the 13th trivia book, and I'm doing another book titled The Ultimate Slasher Movie Encyclopedia. And I currently have on the phone with me Kelly Hu, and she played Eva Watanabe who in Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Hello, Kelly. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. So the first question I have for you is nothing related to Friday the 13th, but it's how did you get your start into acting?
Oh gosh, it seems like a whole other lifetime ago. I was a teenager when I moved from Hawaii to Los Angeles after getting my very first role. I was cast in the TV series Growing Pains. I was cast as a guest star in one of the season premieres where the Seavers go to Hawaii on vacation. They needed a Hawaiian tour guide, and they opened up the casting in Hawaii. And I booked the role, and before the show even aired, I moved to Los Angeles so I could pursue my acting career.
That's so awesome. So, what was your audition like for Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan?
To tell you the truth, it was about 30 years ago. I cannot even remember going in for the audition, really.
A lot of the stars that I've actually interviewed, they do say the same thing because they are like roughly 20 to 30, going on 40 years ago. So it has been quite a long time.
Yeah.
How was Rob Hedden as a director?
He was great. It was my very first movie. I had only done television before that. So it was my first experience doing a movie. I do remember going up to Vancouver, not realizing, I thought I was only going to be up there for 3 days.
Right.
But I ended up being up there for 2 months. But I remember 8 weeks. I remember only packing enough stuff for 3 days, and being in a bit of a panic, knowing that I was going to be up there for 2 months instead.
Wow, that's crazy. So what was it like working with Kane Hodder, who played Jason Voorhees?
Oh, he was a really nice guy. I remember making sort of a Hawaii connection with him when he told me his name is actually pronounced Kane, which means man in Hawaii. I guess he had some Hawaiian ties. His parents had Hawaiian ties growing up.
Wow, that's
so
awesome.
His name is actually Kane.
Wow, that is
Hodder.
so cool.
Yeah.
What was your most memorable moment while filming Friday the 13th Part 8?
Geez. I remember, being that it was my first movie, my parents and my brother, my whole family came out to Vancouver to come to the set because it was my very first film. They didn't know how long this whole acting career was going to last, and they thought this might possibly be the last chance for them to ever see me on a movie set.
Right. Yep. 30 years later.
Right.
So, how was your death scene filmed, and what was the experience like doing such a scene?
I remember shooting this, on the dance floor.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I remember being chased around with the camera, and I remember specifically choosing not to scream. Right. Because I didn't want it to be one of these characters that just kept screaming and sounding hysterical and running around, being trapped in this dance floor. But then later on, I didn't scream. But then later on, they added screams using somebody else's voice.
Wow.
In post-production.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't even know whose voice it was in the end. It wasn't mine. I know that. I wasn't around for the ADR.
Right. So did you do the actual stunt when Kane threw you, or I should say Jason, threw you onto the ground?
No, there was a girl who had doubled me. Her name was Melissa Stubbs. I remember her. Okay. It was her very first job doing stunts. it was a Caucasian girl in a black wig, and we laughed about it many years later when we reunited on other sets in Vancouver later. I think she doubled me again, or she was the a stunt coordinator, I think, again in another project that I had done in Vancouver. I'm trying to remember exactly which one. But we remember laughing about it, how it was her first job and she had to put on that black wig.
That's funny. So what was the best part about filming Friday the 13th Part 8, and what was the worst?
The best thing was being able to see the stuff going on behind the scenes, seeing Kane put on all the extra prosthetics and things like that. Because I have a huge fear of horror films. I never watch horror films. I think I might have seen that film only once afterward.
Wow.
Because I can't stomach them. I get too scared.
Right.
And so the good thing was being able to see all the stuff behind the scenes made it a lot easier for me to watch horror films after that.
Right.
Because I can just sort of watch scenes now and take myself out of it and pretend, I'm watching it from like the set.
Right.
And trying to figure out how they did things as opposed to being immersed in the moment.
Right.
I guess the worst thing, God, I can't even think of a worst thing. There was it was really a great shoot. I mean, and truthfully, in the 8 weeks that I was up there, I was only filming for I think 8 days. I think I ended up shooting 8 days for the entire 8 weeks. So I had a lot of downtime. Maybe that was the worst thing.
Right.
Was the fact that I had a lot of downtime, but we were shooting so much at night.
Yeah.
Because as you do with horror films, and so trying to keep on that night schedule just in case they would call me in. So I remember, sleeping all day and being up all night and, having no one to hang out with and nothing else to do. Being alone in my hotel room a lot up at night.
So what was it like working with Charlene Martin, who played your bestie, Tamara Mason, in Friday the 13th Part 8?
Oh, wow. Yeah, she was great. She, we had a lot of fun. She, I don't know if she had done a lot of work before that, but I was quite new to the industry, so I think that film was really fun to do because there were a lot of young people,
right?
And so we got to hang out a lot. On set and off set as well. Right.
Do you keep in touch with any of the actors or actresses from the film at all to this day?
No, I didn't. It was such a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah. As Hollywood goes.
Yeah, pretty much. So we know you starred in a bunch of films, which being The Scorpion King, which is one of my favorite movies, and I am a huge wrestling fan, so I'm a huge fan of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So what was it like working with The Rock, and what was it like filming The Scorpion King in general?
Well, he also has Hawaii ties. He went to high school in Hawaii. True. So we had that in common, and that always helps, and he was such a nice guy. Remember, it was really his first film. It was his second film, but the first film, all he had was like a couple of quick shots,
right?
In The Mummy,
right?
But this was really his first film, and certainly the first one that he starred in. Right. So he was quite new. There were a lot of things that he was sort of learning as he went. But I always knew, I could tell right off the bat that he was going to have an incredible career.
Right.
And, I think at the time there were no other action stars, really. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone were sort of nearing retirement.
Right.
And and there was no one to really take their place.
Right.
And it seemed as though he was the perfect guy,
Yes.
the right time, right place. And he's a super, super smart guy, so he, figured out the industry very quickly. So I'm not surprised to see how he's become, the most successful actor in all of Hollywood now.
Right. So we both see in the movie Eva and Tamara smoking a blunt before you were caught by Charles, the teacher. So I'm assuming that
I thought we were doing cocaine.
It might have been cocaine, actually.
I think that's what we were doing.
Right.
We were supposed to be, simulating cocaine. And I remember they had built this contraption, this straw, where we were able to sort of hide this, the tube that went into the side of the straw with our fingers, and we were pretending to inhale the cocaine through our noses, and this guy at the other end of the straw was supposed to be sucking it through the straw.
Oh my God, that was actually part of my question.
Right. Oh, it was.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Go ahead.
The other part was what was the substance in the object that you were smoking?
I think we were actually inhaling flour or sugar or something like that.
Right.
I remember it was like something edible.
Awesome.
But still not something that was meant to go up into your nose.
Right.
And so I remember that contraption that was built didn't work. It got plugged through the thing that he was supposed to inhaling from in the background.
Right.
And so we ended up using just like a regular metal straw.
Wow.
And I remember getting some of that stuff actually up my nose.
Oh,
it was not comfortable.
I bet. Where did you film most of the scenes of Friday the 13th Part 8? And was the ship green screened, or how was the replicated to look like realistic on screen?
I remember we shot some stuff down in San Pedro, where we used the exterior of an actual ship at the shipyards.
Oh, nice.
Down there. And we shot a lot of it on an actual boat while we were in Vancouver.
Okay.
So, wait, I'm getting that mixed up with something else. I take it back. We did not shoot in San Pedro. My bad.
It's okay.
That was another movie that I did. That was Surf Ninjas.
Okay.
Whole other set. No, we were shooting it strictly in. Well, my part was strictly in Vancouver.
Okay.
Some of the other cast got to go to New York, but I didn't survive that long. And so, I remember shooting that on an actual boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
I can't remember too much of it though.
Okay. And the last question I got for you is, do you have any future projects in the works that you would like to tell the readers about?
Well, I do have a movie that just came out called Freddie, which is a kids film, where I just won the award for Best Actress at the Burbank Film Festival.
Awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's a fun family film.
Awesome.
And then directed by Sean Olsen, and I'm going to be working with him again in Utah coming up in a couple of weeks.
Okay, awesome.
On another family film.
Awesome.
So what else? And I've got, and I guess that's it for upcoming projects at the moment that I can speak about. There's a couple of other things that I'm doing that are under wraps.
Yeah, I understand that. I started up my own little production company, and we had the whole cast and crew sign NDA clauses and everything.
Right.
So I definitely understand that. Well, thank you so much. Actually, it's like a horror comedy. It's called Samhain, or otherwise pronounced Samhain, which is like a Halloween type esque type thing.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, great.
So it's gonna be like a web series. Yep. Thank you.
I'll keep an eye out for it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Well, thank you so much for your time, Kelly. It was a pleasure talking to you. I was counting down the minutes until you called. Like, I was so excited for this interview.
Oh, thank you so much.
No problem.
This was really fun. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And you have a good rest of your day.
Okay, you too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.